You end up becoming an all-star in your first season with the Grizzlies. Did you feel like you were ready for that moment?
I was so frustrated, getting traded. And then going to Memphis, I was like, when I first heard about it, I'm like, hell no, I ain't, nah, like, because my daddy from Memphis, my folks in Memphis, like, I be in Memphis all the time before I got traded. So me coming there, I was like, I know everybody here, so I didn't think it was a good idea. So, man, I went there, man, God had another plan, man. It was the best decision that ever happened, the best thing that happened to me. Best thing happened to my career. That's my city. They show me love. They understand that a person like me, you know what I mean? Like, I'm rough around the edges. Like, I always been an underdog my whole life, you know what I mean? Especially in the league, like me not making, like I didn't make a lot of all-star games, but I averaged the same points as Dirk and Tim and KG, all the dogs back then in the West. It was
just stacked.
Forwards. It was night in, night out. You had a problem on your hands. So it was like, I was hanging up there, but they always tell me, you can't. I'm like, damn, coach, why I ain't all-star? Why didn't you fuck with me? Like, well, you ain't winning. They used to tell me, that was the reason. But, I just feel like I always been that type of black sheep, like rough around the edge type of guy. So just going to Memphis, it's a place where it's a hard working place. It's a blue collar town. It ain't, people, it ain't just easy. So they see the hard work and they respect it. So that's where I touch them, man. That's where they touch me at. Me giving back to the community, me giving back to the neighborhoods, me showing them that I'm just like them. I come from where they come from. So that was the best thing that ever happened to me in my career, man. Straight up.
I know there was a special video and a special moment out there where you kind of embraced this young fan and touched, this young fan in a heartfelt moment. And it kind of just showed just how down to earth you were in that moment. How did the fans kind of embrace you when you came to Memphis?
Man, they show love, man. They did, man. And, me getting out there in the community, me showing them me talking to everybody. I'm going to speak to everybody. I'm going to say what's up. I'm going to shake your hand. I ain't going to never, look at you like, big doggy and none of that type shit because that ain't how I'm built. So they just seeing that side and they respect it, man. And that's my city. And, I'm going to give me a house there. I always keep a house there. I work for the team. Got business in the city, the label, the record label and stuff in the city. So, that's my city, man.
So Marc was there already. Then you come there. Then Rudy wasn't drafted there yet, right?
No, Rudy was already there.
Rudy was already there.
Mike
was already there. It was almost like you was the last piece to a hell of a successful group. Tony Allen then got traded there, right?
Yeah, yep. And Tony came.
Did y'all feel like something special was brewing once that nucleus right there was put together?
Yep. Like you said, after our first year, I got there with Rudy. I came and Rudy, Mike, and Marc, they was already there. And I think we won like 16 more games or something my first year there. But you can feel it. You can feel the excitement. You can see the potential in this team and the excitement around it. And they believed in us. I think the next year we made the playoffs and proved so much. And I think we beat, it was San Antonio. We beat, beat AC, beat them. So after that, they seen it and we just kept believing and they instilling that belief in us too. The fans, and we believing in ourselves and we that team.
2011 playoffs, you went for 31 in Game 6 versus the number 1 seed Spurs at that time. You guys were the 8th seed. What was it like matching up with Tim Duncan and ultimately upsetting that loaded Spurs team?
Man, that was probably one of the best moments of my career, just winning that series and I think winning the first series for the Grizzlies ever winning. So just being there and not only that, going against one of the greatest power forwards in the game and Tim Duncan and the greatest coach and Coach Pop. And so just being there and knowing how that team is and how they're like a machine and just beating them at the AC, it was just like, it was great. We really thought we could do something that year and win a championship because we just beat, one of the best teams and organizations ever, in the game. Right. So just having that confidence, man, that we could go all the way that year.
So as a fan, it was a joy to watch you and Marc, play together and the chemistry that you guys had at the 4 and the 5. Talk a little bit about how you were able to develop that type of chemistry with Marc, on the floor. And then also just kind of curious what your relationship with him off the court was like.
Man, Marc, my little big brother, man. Just Marc, a great guy, man. People be forgetting Marc was raised in Memphis. Like Marc came to Memphis when Paul got drafted. So I think Marc spent middle school. He spent a lot of time there. So, you know, Marc, like us, he listened to 3-6. He listened to, you know what I mean, Project Pat. You know, he word for word. You know what I mean? So, you know, but nah, just, man, he a good dude, man. He's so unselfish. Like, he's really like a 7 feet point guard. You know what I mean? Like, he's just so talented. Like, he just know how to get everybody going, and he was that defensive anchor and, you know, could shoot the ball, like one of the best shooters, you know, bigs, you know, probably when we was playing. So just being that, man, and just knowing where I want the ball at. Like, he studied, you know, and he knew every position. He knew the guard's position. He knew, you know, the shooting guard, the forwards. So he was like a point guard. Like, he knew everything. So he knew where he was supposed to be. So Marc helped me out a lot. And on the defensive end, he did.
Another person that gave you a lot of success on your team was my boy Mike Conley. That boy Cole, he's still doing his thing. I want to ask you, how do you think he's still able to make an NBA like impact right now? Like,
man, because he's so talented. Not only that, he's just his leadership skills. I mean, and the way he take care of his body, the way he's such a professional and professionalism, the way he carry himself and the things he do, and he could really play. Like I told him, shit, man, he might as well he could play really another. Like he is, because he take care of himself another 5 years if you want to, you know what I mean? And not only that, like, he's a type of guy, like you said with Steve Kerr, he's going to be a type of guy you might see coaching one day, be a head coach of an NBA team or, you know, a general manager. He's going to be one of them type of guys.
that's how I feel what he's doing right now.
Right.
On the court.
Right.
You can see it too.
You see it.
His
Yeah.
teammates, it's awesome seeing
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards has just given him a ton of praise.
Yeah, and Mike is one of them guys that every team he played on, everybody, you never gonna hear nobody say nothing bad about Mike. You know what I mean? He's such a great guy and a real guy, and he just want everybody to win. He's one of them guys, like, you know, we talk about guys you seen hate, he a guy who ain't got no hate in him, man. Always show love to the younger players who ever coming in, and he's just that type of person.
Was there ever a moment when you realized he was like that, like he the shit?
Oh yeah, he Indiana. You know, he's Indiana guy. That's little bro. He been the shit. You know, he from Indiana. When you coming out of Indiana, you ain't got no choice but to be a dog. You know what I'm saying? So he been that. Yeah, for sure.
Prize Picks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with over 5 million active users. Get in on the daily action with your friends and become a part of Prize Picks community today.
With Prize Picks, you could turn $10 into $1,000 in a single game watching your favorite sports this summer. You can make a Prize Picks lineup in less than 60 seconds. You just need to pick more or less out of 2 to 6 players, stat projections, and you're locked in.
There's always action on Prize Picks, and this is the perfect time to try out something new as basketball is winding down. Make sure to try out esports this month, because for every Wednesday and Saturday in June, if your lineup doesn't win, you'll get your entry fee back. Choose from Counter-Strike 2, Call of Duty, League of Legends, and more.
So download the app today and use Podcast P for a first deposit matchup to $100. I repeat, download the app today and use code Podcast P for a first deposit matchup to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Chitty, chitty, chitty.